my name is Amanda Peterson. I am a part of my ASB's Executive Board of Stewart Middle School, and I'm in 7th grade. Today, rather than giving you bits and pieces of my day-to-day life, I'll be more focusing on my personal growth ever since entering Stewart and how it has affected my success as a student. So let's start off at 5th grade, my last year of elementary school. So I was super timid, and I grew to isolate myself from everyone when it was recess by staying at the library the entire free time. I mean, I did have a lot of good friends I can count on, but they had other friends too. But what I mean by that is that I always thought, why would people want to spend their time with me when I couldn't even carry the type of conversation that they wanted, when I'm not humorously sassy or anything like that? These thoughts always came up whenever I talked to anyone, whether it was a teacher, a classmate, a friend, or sadly even a distant family member. I was never confident because I'm unable to be creative with my words when I speak. Plus the additional fact that I was under the label of the shy and smart girl. I honestly really hated this so much because at the time I really didn't feel smart at all, and I didn't feel shy at all either. Of course, this affected me academically because I couldn't ask a teacher for help when I didn't understand something. And because of that, I still suffer right now with some very simple things in math that I should have learned a long time ago. But I never excused myself for my responsibilities or my decency as a person. I never let my thoughts hold me back from my true capability, even if I felt like I should just stop trying. I wanted to disregard everyone around me, but I knew that's not the type of person I could be if I tried. So very late in the 5th grade year, I decided to at least try and appreciate my personality whole along with my weaknesses. I didn't know how yet, but at least I had a goal in mind. Okay, now thinking back at 6th grade, being around the middle of the year, I was really loving my life at school. I enjoyed all my classes and made a lot of good friends too. I guess I would say I was satisfied with my performance around people. Or maybe that was only because I was too busy with projects from school, or I was always just rewinding my mind every day about a half-funny thing that my friend said earlier. Yes, I do that. But I never noticed my uninvolvement in school. So when I finally realized everything I was not doing, I started getting caught up in all the things I was doing wrong, rather than focusing on all I should be proud of. For example, I would never raise my hand in class because I had this voice saying in my head that I would get the answer wrong, even though when it turned out I was right. I was afraid to share my opinions on something because I was afraid people would think my words were inaccurate. And this was all because I was afraid of rejection. And I'm not a shy person. I really am not a shy person. I guess I just tend to keep things to myself unless I'm really 100% sure that my words are needed. I'm sure this is why people see me as quiet, and I may be laughing about this right now, but at the time, these were the reasons why I once again became once again became that girl in elementary school that thought so tiny of herself. Okay, note that everything I'm telling you right now, unless said otherwise, was completely an internal conflict. These challenges were things that only appeared in my mind, and as I said, I've never expressed it. So the people around me may have never noticed changes in my behavior. But basically, I went from hiding in recess in elementary school to enjoying the beginning of my middle school only because I was too distracted to follow up with myself, to becoming upset with my past decisions and comparing myself, thus leading to insecurity. I was insecure about my socializing, my academic performance, my looks, and I haven't mentioned this to a lot of my peers, but there are also some people in my life at the time that put a lot of weight on me, which obviously added to my problems. But I've never let my problems win. I couldn't let my problems win. Even when I was going through all of this, I interviewed for ASB Executive Board, I got exceedings on most of my schoolwork, and I've never made any rash decisions. This unsteadiness I've always had had lasted throughout summer while I was trying to get to know my fellow ASB members into early 7th grade. I honestly felt like the odd one out in my group since everyone else was so outgoing and active, whereas I never danced and I could barely explain what's on my mind without stuttering. Sorry to say this, but at the time I regretted my decision to sign up for the position of ASB because of these reasons. I thought of leaving to get a normal advisory, but I am so glad that I didn't, because eventually I was able to say with confidence that ASB has helped me so much. Ever since the first time I talked in front of the school, I stopped complaining. I stopped comparing myself to others, and I haven't complained about my socializing ever since. And the funny thing is that I never really noticed it until long after. I've gained so much confidence, which feels so good right now, knowing how I was back in 5th and 6th grade. I can speak out to the class without worries, and I'm actually excited whenever I get projects that require us presenting. I've grown a lot. It may not seem like it because no one knows beyond what you show, but for me, knowing everything I have accomplished the past 3 years, this makes this feel so much better. I'm not saying that all of this came from work myself, because there were so many important individuals around me that affected my outlook on life. And I'm a positive person, and I'm very fortunate for that, because right now, I'm a 4.0 student, I have the most supportive people around me, and I'm very content with the things I was originally so frustrated with. But I feel like the most important things that pushed me not to let my devil thoughts win was that I always kept a part that would always tell me to grab any chance I get, because if I don't, that's when I'll start regretting. And as people, we know that regret is not a good feeling. I know that I could do more because I had great teachers that always assured me whenever I was feeling hesitant. And at the end, it all comes down to good intentions and effort towards your passions and desires. Okay, wow, 3 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be able to speak in front of this wonderful crowd in front of me. But I know obviously this is not the happily ever after the end yet, because I've only recently turned 13. I know that things will change. Me and my personality will change. But I'm saying right now and at this moment that I'm grateful for everyone around me, everyone that I've come across. I don't regret a single thing that's happened in my life so far, because that all leads to the person I am now. And good memories and bad memories, I've grown from it all. I'm also very thankful to the staff at Stewart who came here to cheer me and my other fellow student of the quarters on. Thank you to the Rotary, who has done a lot for our educational community, and everyone else who came here to appreciate our hard-working students of Stewart. I'm Amanda Peterson, and this is my story so far about my personal growth. Thank you so much.